Today, we're talking about something that hits close to home for a lot of women. It's that feeling of being exhausted but unable to rest. Your body's begging for a break, but your brain's already thinking about the next 10 things on your to-do list. You know you need rest, but the thought of slowing down almost makes you anxious, and maybe it even feels impossible. If that sounds familiar, you're likely what I call an over-functioning woman living in survival mode. So today, I want to unpack what that means emotionally as well as physically, including what we see in lab work when we dig deeper into our clients' minerals, metabolism, and stress response. Because for most women, this exhaustion is not just about your hormones. It's your body's way of saying enough. So this is where a lot of midlife women get stuck. You're the capable one, the reliable one, the one who takes care of everyone else. At work, you're the go-to person because you get shit done. And at home, you're running the house, managing schedules, groceries, kids, pets, you name it. It's a full-time job on top of your actual job. And even when you're exhausted, you can't stop, because the thought of letting something slide makes you feel very uneasy. This is over functioning, and it's not just doing a lot. It's doing more than your fair share, over and over, often to feel safe or in control. Somewhere along the line, many of us learned that being productive, helpful, or strong meant being worthy. We got praised for being independent, dependable, and organized. And while those traits are amazing, they come at a cost, because when your nervous system never shuts off, your body eventually cannot keep up. And let's be honest, overfunctioning often starts as self-protection. When life feels uncertain, doing more can give you a sense of control. If I'm busy, I don't have to feel what's underneath. If I handle everything, no one can let me down. If I stay productive, I don't have to face the guilt of rest. But here's the truth. Your nervous system doesn't know the difference between emotional danger and physical danger. If your brain constantly believes that there's something to fix, prove, or manage, your body stays in fight or flight. That constant vigilance, the need to anticipate every problem, every reaction, literally rewires your stress response. It's why you can feel tired but wired. Your body's exhausted, but your brain is scanning for threats, even if those threats are just emails, chores, or your kid's science project that's due tomorrow. Let's talk about the parenting piece for a minute, because it's a big one. We've created a culture where busyness is a badge of honor. Kids are in 5 different activities. You're carpooling, eating dinner on the go, and calling this normal. But here's a question I often ask my clients. Why? Why are kids in so many activities? Who's benefiting from this pace? Because when you're running around, constantly overstimulated and under-rested and underfed, nobody wins. Not you, and certainly not your kids. And what message are you sending them? That exhaustion is the price of success? That self-care is selfish? That rest must be earned? Saying no, whether it's to more activities, commitments, or expectations, isn't failure. It's leadership. And sometimes leadership means disappointing others. That's one of the hardest lessons women in midlife have to learn, that prioritizing your health often means being misunderstood. Now, let's shift this into the physical side, because this is where a lot of women start to see it show up in their labs, especially on an HTMA, hair tissue mineral analysis, which is a test that we use with clients. When you live in constant go mode, your adrenals are releasing cortisol nonstop, right? Over time, that leads to mineral depletion, especially sodium, potassium, and magnesium, to name a few. These minerals are like the batteries that keep your metabolism and hormones running. When they're low, everything slows down. Your thyroid function drops, your sex hormones can't stay optimized, your blood sugar goes haywire. So even if your hormone levels look normal, your cells don't have the nutrients that they need to respond properly. This is why we see so many women who've done hormone testing and they're looking at estrogen, progesterone, thyroid, cortisol, yet they still feel awful. So here's what we see often on HTMA results from our high-achieving women over 40. We see low sodium and low potassium. Your adrenals are freaking exhausted. Stress resilience is shot. You're craving salt or caffeine and feel unmotivated. We also see low magnesium or low calcium. So you're dealing with tension, irritability, restless sleep, or we'll see calcium shell, meaning your calcium is going into your soft tissue versus where it belongs, in your teeth and in your bones. So this can actually cause muscle tightness, aches, and pains. And then we also see low zinc. Sometimes we'll see high copper. This creates more hormone imbalance, skin issues, anxiety, PMS-like symptoms. This pattern is what we call a slow oxidizer, and it basically means that your adrenals and thyroid have downshifted to preserve energy. Your metabolism has hit the brakes. It's your body trying to protect you from yourself. This is why we often start with mineral testing, not hormone testing inside the perimenopause method. Because until your foundation, like your minerals, your stress response, your nervous system, are all supported, your hormones are always going to feel unstable, even if you're on HRT. You cannot balance hormones in a depleted body. So here's the other thing. Most women say they want rest, but when they finally slow down, it feels uncomfortable. And I get it. I really do. The silence feels loud. The guilt creeps in. The mind starts to race. That's because rest feels unsafe to a nervous system that's been in survival mode for years. It takes time and retraining your body that it is safe to slow down. It's okay to say no. You cannot supplement your way out of that. It's somatic. It's learning to sit in stillness, even if your brain screams, go do something. And when you start to support your minerals, nourish your body, and calm your nervous system, you start to notice something quite magical. Rest stops feeling scary. You exhale. You enjoy downtime. You feel less tense in your body, and dare I say, happy. I can't tell you how many women come to us saying, I'm eating clean, I'm taking supplements, but I'm still exhausted and moody. I wake up anxious, I crash in the afternoon, and I can't sleep at night. They think they have a hormone problem, and maybe they do, right? When you're over 40, hormones are shifting. That's what I educate on here. But more often, it's a chronic stress problem that's exacerbating the hormone issues. And once we start replenishing minerals, improving nutrition, balancing blood sugar, and addressing your nervous system, energy returns. You can finally relax without guilt. Your mood stabilizes. You start sleeping again and feeling like yourself. And often, only then do we really discuss hormones, because by that point, your body is ready to respond. So if you're recognizing yourself in this episode, here's what I want you to know. You don't need to overhaul your entire life overnight, but you do need to start feeding your body safety again. So here are a few areas to think about. Eating enough. When I tell you that the majority of women come to us under eating, I am not kidding. This is a huge part of the work that we do, is making sure that women are eating adequately. So a lot of overfunctioning women are under fueling. They're rushing through meals. They're snacking all day. They're relying on protein shakes or protein bars. That is not going to fuel you for your needs. So please prioritize protein and fiber at all of your meals, and do not skip breakfast. I know there's a lot of talk about fasting, especially in the online space. If you are depleted, if you are dealing with a bunch of perimenopause symptoms, fasting is not your friend right now. Maybe once you optimize your hormones, once you balance your blood sugar, once you learn how to eat properly, then you could revisit that, but it is not the first place to start if you are feeling lousy or if you're gaining weight. Then you want to consider optimizing your minerals, okay? We obviously do this with an HTMA, hair tissue mineral analysis. We use this test for a reason. It is foundational, and it really helps us understand where you're needing support and what your stress response looks like. But to start, think about adding electrolytes to your water and look for something that has a good amount of potassium, not just high sodium, like a lot of the popular ones in the market right now. They're making women feel even more thirsty because they're not giving you enough potassium in there. Also consider adding in some magnesium, and even just putting a bit of sea salt in your water, or being generous with sea salt in your cooking. Don't be afraid of salt. The other thing is simplify. Say no to what drains you, even if it disappoints other people. Move gently. If you're exhausted, the answer isn't more cardio. Yes, cardio is important as well as strength training. But if you are running on fumes. If you are completely depleted, running is not doing you any favors. Go for walks, especially in the morning, to get sunlight in your eyes. Stretch, add in strength training with intention. And then I really want you to create true downtime. Stop with the multitasking. Don't have guilt around rest. It's really important that you slow down, make time for rest, whether it's a nap, maybe it's going to bed earlier, getting that extra hour of sleep in the morning, whatever it looks like for you to feel good in your body. Remember, rest isn't a reward that you earn. It is a boundary that you must hold. Over-functioning women often think, I just need to try harder. But healing is not about more effort. It's about less resistance. It's learning to receive support instead of constantly providing it to everyone else. It's learning to let other people help you. It's realizing that worth and productivity are not the same thing. Your body is not betraying you in midlife. It is protecting you. The exhaustion, the burnout, the anxiety, these are not random symptoms. They're messages from a body that has been overworked, undernourished, and over-responsible for far too long. So if you've been spinning your wheels, wondering why you're so exhausted, even after changing your diet, trying supplements, or even starting hormone therapy, it's time to look deeper. Start with your minerals, look at your stress patterns, and give your body permission to slow down before it forces you to. If you want help figuring what your body's actually trying to tell you, this is what we do inside the Perimenopause Method program. We'll review your HTMA, hair tissue mineral analysis, nutrition, lifestyle, supplements. Even if you're taking HRT, we'll take a look at that. And we create a personalized plan to restore your energy, your mood, and your metabolism so you can feel your best in your second half. Because you don't need another quick fix like some product that your favorite influencer is pushing. You need to rebuild your foundation, and it starts with rest and nourishment. All right, my friend, that's all for today. If this episode resonated, please share it with another woman who needs to hear that she's not crazy, she's just depleted and needs support. If you haven't already, please hit subscribe and leave a quick review. It really helps more women find the show and start healing. Until next time. Hey, before you go, if you're ready to get educated, empowered, and feel your best in your peri years and beyond, grab my must-have guide for women 40 plus navigating hormone changes via the link in the show notes. You'll learn my top 5 strategic diet and lifestyle changes to make ASAP to support your declining hormones and get back your energy, improve your mood, and confidence. The information provided is for educational and informational purposes only. I am not, nor do I act as a doctor or any other medical professional. I am not providing healthcare, medical services, or attempting to diagnose, treat, prevent, or cure any physical, mental, or emotional disease or condition. The information shared is not intended to be a substitute for the professional medical advice provided by your own medical or mental health provider.